Welcome, Sister Aruna. Yeah, over to you. Yes.
Thank you, Katriban. And I think this is in connection with International Day of Peace. So a big, peaceful Om Shanti to everyone. So yes, power of love. Let's just take a moment maybe to reflect. I'd like you to just take a moment and reflect on when was the last time that you felt you experienced some love in your life. And what did that feel like? How did it make you feel? What was the quality of that love? Do you think that that love was demanding something from you? Did that love make you feel easy and light? Did that love make you feel empowered? Or did that love make you feel crazy, empty, angry? So let's come back and just keep that in your mind as an experience. So yes, we are all looking for love. But where are we looking for that love? I bet most of us, more than 90%, are looking for love out there. And actually, we even use the term very casually, don't we? We say, oh, I love my car, I love my house, I love my job. So what is love? We say actually that love is a noun and love is a verb. So a noun is just a thing, right? Love is just a thing. But then love is also a verb, which means to be love. I am love. Not that I want love. I am love. And because I am love, I have so much of it inside of me. And the one that has is able to give. The one that doesn't have is not able to give. In fact, they're the ones that want. So the big difference really between physical love of any kind, not just romantic love, and spiritual love is that in physical love, there is the feeling of wanting, that I cannot become full till I receive. And with spiritual love, I don't want. In fact, I'm in a position to give, and I'm happy to give. I don't feel that I'm becoming empty. In fact, I think some of you know the Brahma Kumaris and the movement, and I think you know that their activities are actually free of charge. So once upon a time, one of our senior sisters was asked this question, that when you hold these retreats, and in the retreats, people stay overnight, right? For 1 or 2 nights for the retreat. And she was asked this question, don't you think that people take advantage of you? And this senior sister said, but when we are already willing to give, then it's not a question of them taking advantage of us. When we are already inviting, when we are already offering, then it's like an invitation, isn't it, to a guest? And so it's not a question that somebody takes advantage of us. So I'm applying the same concept to the experience of love. If you have so much love inside of you, and you're happy to share that love with others, then it's not a question of being taken advantage of. You are the more powerful one because you are able to give. And that is the power of spiritual love. Spiritual love does not weigh, it doesn't bargain, it doesn't measure, doesn't barter. Spiritual love just offers of itself freely. It's like you put it here, and yes, whoever wants to take just takes. You're not enforcing anybody to take either. So how does that happen? That happens when I myself am just exuding that love. And we have seen the founder of the Brahma Kumaris and our senior dadis. They just exude that love. And we, like sponges, just want to be around them, absorbing this love. Let me give you a story. So one of the stories, it's kind of a story. I don't think it's real life, but it makes a good point. So the story is that there was a woman hiker hiking the mountains. And, when you're hiking, you bump into other people on the same trail. And so one day she bumped into this male. And then they were hiking together for a while. Then they thought, okay, let's sit and have our lunch together. And then as they sat down, as she's pulling out her food, he notices something in her bag. And he asks her, what is that? Because it's shining brightly. And she said, oh, it's a diamond, right? This size. She said, it's a diamond. He said, is it real? And she said, yeah. He said, that's so nice. She said, do you want it? And he got a bit, doubtful. He said, sure. So she gave it to him. And then after some time, they went their way, parted their ways. And then he came looking for her a few days later. And he found her and he said to her, here, I don't want this anymore. She said, why not? It's so precious. And he said, no, what is more precious is what made you give me that diamond. He said, I want what you've got that made you give me that diamond. So it's that power of letting go, that power of generosity, that power of detachment. And anything you can read into that story, but it's true. What made her just easily give up that thing? And it's the same for the founder. When Dada Lekraj, when he came across some visions, and then he felt that I have found this amazing wisdom. To him, those were the real diamonds. Even though he was a diamond merchant, he was seeing the diamonds every day. But he could easily let go of those diamonds because he found those precious diamonds. So I'm telling you these stories and examples because when we really find true love, spiritual love, then it's so easy to give up other lower forms of love. And how do we obtain this spiritual love? Well, firstly, it's really about self-recognition. Who am I? This is really a multi-million-dollar question. If I were to ask you, who are you? Who are you? And you might say, okay, I'm an engineer, or I'm a housewife, or I'm a gardener, I'm secretary. But is that who you are, or is that what you do? So the real you is these qualities that you're talking about every evening, and one of them is love. I am love. No, really, just say that to yourself quietly in your mind now. I am love. And so if I am love, then every atom of my being is filled with that love. And so if my every atom, if my every thought, if my every heartbeat is filled with that love, so then if something happens, or if somebody comes in front of me, then what should be my instantaneous response? Is love. In fact, one of the stories of the founder is that somebody had actually come to kill him. He was hired by, at that time, it was called the Anti-Om Mandli. It was a group of people who were not happy with the founder starting this organization back in 1930s. And so they hired a person to come and kill him. They said, basically, the mission was go and get his head. And so somehow he got to the campus, he jumped the wall. And, you know, we don't have tight security because that's not how we are. I mean, there's a few people at the gate, but we don't have policemen and guns. And you know, it was never like that. So it was easy for him to enter Baba's room. When he entered Baba's room, and Baba knew that he had come with this motive. And Baba was writing something, right? Like this. And as soon as he saw him, you know how he responded? He said, "Child, how can I help you?" Imagine, somebody has come to kill him, and this is his immediate response. And what happened is that this assassin, he saw Baba there, but he just saw light. He felt light emanating from his being, his body. And he just dropped his weapon. And he got on the floor and he pleaded for forgiveness. Because he realized that this person was not an ordinary person. And then Brahma Baba said, make sure you have some dinner before you go. Imagine. He even fed him. So can we have this, you know, can we have this deep love in our hearts that not only are we not upset with the other person, but then we're able to give a whole lot more to that person. Right? We often use this expression, love can conquer mountains. Love can move mountains. And I've seen this again so many times. When Dadi Janki, who was the head of the Raj Yoga meditation, when she, saw me, and then she was encouraging me and guiding me, it was her power of love. She had a very different style of leadership. She never said, do this and don't do that. But like a friend, you know, she would guide, and she would say to all of us in general, it's good if you do this. It's good if you do it like this. And the other thing about her power of love is that she never pointed out our weaknesses. Her love was, one, to not give sorrow, by pointing out our weakness. And secondly, to give love, which was like in a form of encouragement, inspiration. And when Dadi trusted us, trusted me, I felt like living up to that trust. This was Dadi's love. So this is real love, right? When you're being guided, when you're being sustained, but when you're being inspired, when you're being pulled up, when you're being risen to the challenge, this is true love. In this day and age, we have parents, right, who say that, oh, I have to scold them, right? This is my love. I have to tell them off. I have to smack them. I have to beat them. I have to maybe lock them up, punish them, deprive them. But how long will that last? Okay, you lock them up for one night. Next day, they'll do the same thing. So what is the power of love? The power of love is that you win their heart. When I win somebody's heart, then they will be willing to do anything for me. So it's the conquering of the heart. And that's what the Dadis did. That's what Baba, the founder, did. I remember a story of one of the young girls. She now lives in London. She was very young at that time. And what happened is that her mother put her in a boarding school in Mount Abu. And her mother knew Baba. And so she wrote to Baba and said, Baba, now we have to put down the name of a guardian for her. And, they lived quite far and in India. And so she wrote to Baba and said, can we put your name down as the guardian for her? And Baba said, sure. So Baba became this little girl's guardian. Now, what happened is when she started school, she wasn't very happy. And every second Sunday, she would come to the campus where Baba was staying. Right? Her school is in Mount Abu, and Baba is in Mount Abu, and she would visit Baba. So after 2 weeks, the first time she came, she was crying. And Baba said, what is it, child? And she said, I don't like my school. I don't like the food. I don't like anything about my school. And Baba, really won her heart. And Baba said, okay, Baba will send you. Right? So Baba would make 2 baskets. One was a basket full of fruits. And she said that at the time in Mount Abu, there was only like bananas and one other fruit, maybe chiku. But the basket that Baba made was full of all kinds of fruit. And so this fruit was coming from Ahmedabad, and Baba was filling this basket for her. She's so young, right? Baba's not thinking, oh, it's just a child, let it go. It's her karma. Baba's not thinking like that. So one was a basket of that, and then the other was a basket of the sweets, right? We call it toli, and nuts. And so Dada Vishwarathan would carry these baskets, because at that time there was no transport, no buses. And he would walk, like half a mile up, and he would deliver this to her. And she was just so happy. And she said that she spent most of her life eating toli because she didn't like the food at school. And then another time what happened is that her friend stole her pen. Okay, her best pen. Her friend stole it to play a game on her. And then again, she's crying. So when Dada Vishwarathan came to give these baskets, she's crying. And then Dada Vishwaratan came back and told Baba what is the story, that she has lost her pen. So then Baba sent her 9 pens. He sent her 9 pens. Next day, Dada went and Dada said, okay, choose one from here. Baba has sent this for you. And of course, she didn't like any of them, but she thought she better choose one. Anyway, time is short now, but I'm just saying that it's the little things that we do to win the hearts of others. It's not the big things. It's not about, becoming a high achiever, but it's about taking that time to care for the other individual, to see what is their need. What do they truly want? And I think this is what's missing in the world at the moment, is this attitude of really caring for others. Like if somebody, if somebody's car is broken down at the side of the road, how many of us will stop to ask, can we help? Even there was a person, right, dead on the platform in India, and he was lying there for a few days and nobody's asking about him. I mean, what kind of a society are we if we don't stop to care for the other person? So real love is, yes, about coming out of our selfishness, about what we want, and seeing, okay, what does the other person want? And when I have that ability to give despite my challenges, then that is when it becomes a power. Love is love, right? When I give you a box for your birthday, the love is not the box, no? The gift is not the love, but it's my act of giving. It's when I give you something. It doesn't have to be the box. It can be anything, but I took the time. I thought about it. I cared. I respected. These are all the attributes of love. So this is when it becomes a power, when I'm able to give, when I'm able to put aside all differences and I'm able to share from my heart. And this is another story that we also share quite frequently. And that is about the princess who well, she thought she lost her necklace. And she turned the whole kingdom upside down looking for this necklace. Until finally one of the maids said to her, but madam, it's around your neck. So we do the same thing, right? We're looking for peace out there. We're looking for love out there. We're looking for respect out there. But can we not, give it to ourselves? Honestly, let me ask you, those of you who don't meditate on a regular basis, or don't meditate at all, do you stop to give love to yourself? This is what we are doing in meditation. First step of meditation is self-love, self-acknowledgement. I am who I am. In fact, we even believe that, yes, God accepts me as I am. God doesn't want me, of course, he wants me powerful and all that, but he will still love me as I am. He won't reject me. So my love for myself is that I want to improve myself. My love for myself is, yes, I want to adopt these powers. Power to face, power to accommodate, power to tolerate, power to adjust, power of flexibility, power to cooperate with others. I want to imbibe these powers so that I become a powerful person. That is my love for myself. And how can God help in this? God helps in this by giving me the wisdom, by giving me that enlightenment, right? God puts this mirror in front of us and shows us who we are. That is God's love for us. Then when we look in the mirror, we say, yes, this flaw, and I have to change this. And so with, first self-acceptance and self-recognition, and then I take the step to transform. And so then the second step of meditation is I connect with that source of love. God is the only one who is the supreme source, the ocean of love. God's love never runs out. And really, God is love, not sometimes. We don't say God sometimes love. No, God is love. So if God is love and you're wanting love, who should you go to? Right? If you want some medicine, you go to the pharmacy, right? You don't go to the greengrocer. So if I want love, true love, spiritual love, I need to go to that one source, unconditional, pure love. See, I can get love from others, right? But that love is always loaded. Yeah, you give me and I will give you. This is the loaded love. It's a bargain. But true spiritual, divine love is only God's love. And really, when you have had a taste of that, then no other love actually compares. So as I said, when I see myself full of virtues, full of powers, and then yes, I have to up these virtues. So in other words, I always say we have different virtues. I have peace and love and light and kindness, but then I have to up the quality of these virtues. So perhaps I have 50% love and I have 30% respect and 70% kindness. But my perfection is that I am full in each. And that's why I'm saying that's the real love for myself, that I want to become full in all these virtues and powers. So let's have a little meditation on this and then whatever else. Is that okay, Gayatri? Yeah. So everybody just sit comfortably and let's try and experience a bit of this self-love. So try not to hold on to anything, just let your body relax. Sit comfortably. And we practice open eye meditation, so you can just rest your eyes on something in front of you. Because we want to be aware and we want to be here in this present moment. So right now, I feel the now moment. Just completely center yourself in this now moment. Forget what has happened in the past, including today. And do not worry about the future. This is a very precious moment. And it's passing. With every second, this precious moment is passing. And so I want to learn to feel the beauty of this moment. And this moment. And this moment. And now I turn my attention inside into my inner world. My inner world of thoughts and feelings. So I'd like you to just check yourself now. How do you feel? Just really try to get in tune with your feeling, and not just good or bad, but are you excited or are you depressed? Are you eager, enthusiastic, or are you bored? Just try to tap into that feeling, general feeling. And if you are feeling not so good, then just say to yourself, okay, for now, I choose to make my mind positive. I choose to create positive and powerful thoughts. And I tell myself that everything is going to be okay. I will get the answers. I do not have the answers now, but I have the faith that I will know what to do at the right time. And now I would like you to really find something very beautiful about you. I'd like you to find an inner quality, something that makes you special. Maybe it's a blessing that you have. Maybe a speciality, a special way of doing something, being something. And I want you to start loving that. I want you to really begin loving that part of you. Maybe you have the ability to listen to others. Maybe you're a hard worker and you are tireless. Maybe you just have a very clean heart. Whatever it is, just really love that about you. And just be at peace with that. Just say very quietly to yourself, say your name, like I will say, Aruna, I really love you. Just say that quietly in your mind a few times. And really feel at deep peace with yourself. And now I'd like us to imagine that we are standing under a fountain. But this is not a fountain of water. This is a fountain of light. And this light is coming from God, the supreme source of love. So this light is the love. Just visualize yourself under this fountain. You don't even have to look up to see where it's coming from, but you just know there's an intuition telling you that this light is God's light of love. Think about it. How will God love me? How will God send his love to me? So he sends it via light. And I, the soul, am feeling this light. I, the soul, am feeling I can do this. I can improve. I can adjust. I can tolerate. And this light is a very unconditional light, very pure light. God doesn't want anything back from us. That's why that light is so powerful. And now I'd like us to just take a moment in silence, and I'd like you to talk to that being of light from your heart. Just have a heart-to-heart conversation with that mother, father, friend who is so willing to be your friend, so willing to be your guide, and wanting the best for you. So let's just take a moment and speak to this being, but with our heart. Shanti. Om means I am, and Shanti means peace. So last thing I'd like to say is that we all have a special mission in this world. We have all come here to not just take from the world, but to give something back to the world. And it's not about money, it's not about physical possessions, but whatever we can give from the heart will be appreciated by everyone. So wherever you are and whatever you're doing, and really wherever you live in the world and whatever is your job, but we can still all do this, which is to give something from our heart to somebody else's heart. And so for that, we really just have to see them as our soul brother, soul sister. And when we give from heart, one heart to the other heart, I think that's when we can start transforming the world. And as I said, it's not the big things, but just random acts of kindness is the real love, is the real power of love. Where you do something and you don't want acknowledgement, you don't want fame and recognition, but you do it because you're wise and you know that by doing that, it makes you feel happy. You've done the deed and you're already happy, so nothing more can add to your happiness because you're already so happy doing it. And that is the power of love. Shanti.